Hello, I'm MC Toon, the worst rapper in the world, and tonight is a special edition. There's a comedy movie, it's not funny, that came out today called Level by some flat earthers, mostly narrated by Eric Dubay, and also it's got ODD, and it's got David Murphy, and it's got Tanner Stewart, the flat earth millionaire, and Santa something, I don't know, and some guy that does tattoos, because you know that's a super thing. Anyway, and I've got Mallory. How are you doing, Mallory?
Bonjour. I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I got some invitations out to a couple other people. This was kind of a last minute thing to do.
Very last minute.
Yeah, so I was glad that Mallory, in case you don't know, Mallory is, are you still a flat earther? You're on your way out, right?
No, I'm a flat earther and I'm here to stay.
Sure. Okay. And got a couple others that'll be joining. We've got Irish Demon, we may have Punchy, we may have Jordan's AndTheJordSaid.
You do have AndTheJordSaid.
Very good. How you doing?
Doing great. How are you guys?
I am super. And neither of them are on screen, so we may need a little Irish coming. Let's see. Oh, Mallory can barely be heard. So Mallory, you're not very loud, but Jordan I think is. So if you can move closer or something, because I can't individually change your
One moment.
volumes. So, and let's see,
How about now?
Well, let's get some feedback from the audience as you talk a little bit, maybe. So let's see, I've got now, hey, White Kick a Moo Cow, who somehow had gotten blocked on my stream inadvertently, is now back and is a moderator and just sent a super chat for $5, Australian, with no message, but thank you very much, White Kick a Moo Cow. Glad to have you here. Oh, and Foehammer I invited as well, and he said that he can come. At first he didn't think he could, so he says I should be there in an hour. I'll ask you in advance for forgiveness for poor audio. Super. So okay, I'm going to get this going right real quick here. And because we want to see it. We're here to see this tragic comedy. I watched it. I actually I got up early to watch it even. That's dedication. Like, I watched it before I worked. I took some notes. So what I'm going to do is a regular scripted review of it, maybe tonight or tomorrow or something. But this is just the live fun review of it, for people to interact and enjoy a little chuckle. So let's see. Fred Kane says, let's dare Fred Knotts to debate my drunk arse. He's a worthless Poe. Fred Knotts. Talking to SE Montreal is in here. We got a couple flat earthers in here even. Oh yeah. And we're talking slow mode. So all right, I gotta get the slow mode. I figured it out last time how to do it. Like I knew, but I had forgotten. So there we go. Slow mode set. So yeah. Fred Knotts and Jeff Kane. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. So we've got a bunch of people in here. Wow. Glad to see you all. So I'm going to, let's see. I'm going to switch it over here. I'm going to share to my guests. You guys want to see what we're talking about here. So I got to close that. I got so many tabs open, as always, after a busy day of work and stuff. So
Your IQ has to be through the roof at this point.
It is
like
definitely.
every time I talk to you, you have multiple tabs open. I think eventually you're gonna surpass like 5,000 and become a singularity, and
Is that how it works?
I think so. I mean, the more tabs means more IQ, right?
I think so. I'll go with that.
Pretty sure.
All right, so there you see this blur. Everybody sees that. This is oh, Hank, before we start, Hank, for $5 just to help with the cleanup of all the flat earth tiers. I know sometimes it gets like knee deep. But what you do is you collect them together, and SpaceX uses them to launch rockets. So it's a win-win. All right, here we go. It's an hour long. I watched the whole thing. I downloaded it. I actually got the full unedited version. They had like a PG or something version. This is the non. So there's not a lot, but there's a little bit. So be aware if you're feeling sensitive in the ears tonight. So
Convinced? Well, if you didn't fall for that, then why would you fall for this? Maybe you just never paid attention. When you do pay attention, you start to notice things.
So yeah, you see the curve of the horizon there on this GoPro camera.
Are you paying attention?
And then another view of the horizon from a GoPro camera. So this isn't meant to be science when they put a camera on a rocket. It's just a camera on a rocket.
A lot of flat earthers seem to think like anytime there's a camera on a rocket, that's like people's proof for flat earthers. Like, no, a lot of people just want to see the cool stuff happen with a wide as angle as possible, like that's why GoPros are so...
Yeah, and they're cheap too.
Yeah, they're cheap and they give you a super wide field of view, so you can catch a lot of stuff. They're really nice.
Yeah.
I've actually been saving up for one.
So Mallory, when you see that,
Yeah.
what do you think?
The first thing I think of is that you do trickery with camera, making it look like it's curved and it's not, like the fishbowl type thing.
The fisheye? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so like if it was CGI, right? If they were faking it, would they fake it curving the wrong direction?
I have no idea. They could fake anything.
Yeah, but if you were the person who was overseeing faking stuff,
Mm-hmm.
And they actually had to just manufacture these videos, because that's the claim, is that they're not actually in space.
Yeah.
Right, that these are manufactured videos. So if you were the one in charge of manufacturing these videos, would you instruct them to have it curve the wrong direction?
Like, as for jokes, like, is that what they're trying to do, to show how ridiculous Globers do it? So they're just going to do it the other way?
I don't know. Like, but they're trying to use this as like some evidence that trickery is involved, and evidence that it's not actually right.
If I did it, I'd put it like, oh, look, the world is actually a heart shape, and be like, boom, there you go. And, and have it that.
All right. So what my point is, if I were to fake it, I would say fake it consistently. People, you're manufacturing it. So apply the curve consistently everywhere you go. And if the person getting a lot of money to do this didn't do that, I'd fire them and have somebody else come in to do it. Right. I don't know. That's what I would do.
I'm just saying, this stream just got demonetized.
Oh my goodness. That is because somebody just showed up, and he's not yet connected to audio, but it is the Irish. How about now? There we go. The Irish
most demonic.
Can you guys hear me? Yeah.
I can hear you.
You can hear me. To quote Napoleon Bonaparte, "Bonjour, globe shills." How's everybody?
Great. Whatever that. I don't think Napoleon said that,
Yeah,
but you know,
I
let's
don't-
go with it.
I think he actually said NASA shields, but close enough.
All right.
Anyway, what's happening?
I'm
no.
pretty sure he was actually, wasn't he more with the French French NASA?
Oh, ESA.
The
Yeah.
French NASA. Yeah,
the
Napoleon
That
French
sounds about
NASA.
right.
before
Look,
the French NASA existed.
they told Napoleon that they were sending him to the moon, but really they just put him on an island way out in the middle of the sea.
So,
He
Exactly.
still thought he was on the moon till he died. Crazy story.
Sounds about right.
oh, all right, that hurts. Irish Demon, you know Jordan, and
I
the
sure
George
do.
said, and
I sure do.
I don't know if you've spoken with Mallory before, but she's in here too.
I have not, and it's nice to meet you, Mallory. How are you?
Hi.
Oh, I realized I didn't introduce myself to Mallory. Hi, Mallory. That was kind
Hi.
of rude of me.
So good.
So we are watching the movie here.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna play it a little more here. They're introducing ODD. This is like the intro part, so I'm gonna jump a little bit here. Yeah, ODD's talking up himself here.
Just
God,
decided,
please don't make me listen
screw
to a
it.
flat
I'm going to make a
earth
YouTube
rap.
channel and start talking in videos.
There has never been one experiment that proves that the Earth is in motion.
Oops.
Oopsie. Just stop you right there. Thanks, Bob.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you, Bob. If this was a drinking game, I think we would all die. There's no
God.
way that.
It's like it's 2021, and he didn't bother to look anything up since when he started, I guess. But right here on my website, mc2.net/spin, are 14 different experiments that measured the rotation of the Earth. So it's not that he can say there has never been any of these right now. It's on him to somehow find a flaw in these experiments. Actually, they're not even really experiments. They're just measurements, right? When you measure the length of a 2x4, you don't do an experiment. You just measure it.
Right.
Exactly.
When you want to know how fast a car is going, you just measure how fast the car is going. So, yes. All right. So, yeah. And Mute Donkey's asking if he's supposed to be drinking, and I have to warn you, if any particular drinking games you might play to this movie could result in alcohol poisoning. So please.
Disclaimer. MCTune and MCTune.net are not responsible for the actions of any viewer watching this channel. Should you participate in any drinking game related to the dumbness of Flat Earth, may cause just a lot. Just probably don't do it.
There you go.
Probably.
Straight from the lawyers. I'm sure.
And are you?
Wait, no, I am not a practicing lawyer.
I'll be right back.
I
Okay.
think that would be a crime, actually.
Okay. So, yeah, these are peer reviewed. There's one or two that aren't peer reviewed. They're just write-ups on how they measured stuff. But I like this one here. They took a diamagnetically levitating gyroscope. What they did is they took a plastic ball, a solid plastic ball that they built to be this particular, that's 2 centimeters in diameter, right? And then they used a 15 Tesla magnetic field. Now, if you don't know what Tesla are in units, it's a magnificently large quantity of magnetism. 1 Tesla is, of course, the base, and it is kind of the base SI unit for magnetism. But it's such a large amount of magnetism that few things are strong enough to even get up to 1. So they defined another one that's 1,000th of a Tesla, which is a Gauss. So 1,000 Gauss is 1 Tesla. So they typically use Gauss to measure the strength of a magnetic field. But now an MRI machine does get in up more than 1 Tesla. I think there are 3 Teslas, something like that. So these people made a 15 Tesla magnetic field. And that's what it took to levitate a plastic ball that's 2 centimeters in size. And then they spun it, and then they backed off, and they measured the rotation, and they identified a change in the rotation of 15 degrees per hour. It's pretty, it's just awesome how they did that. So right there on my website, you can look at it. I think I even have on there, let's see, where is it? Yes, the PDF. Some of the PDFs were hard to find. I hunted them down for you. You can go find them. Or you can just download it right off my website. So there you go, ODD. You didn't do your research, did you?
A flat earther didn't do research?
Yeah.
Is he wearing scrubs?
Well, it's the hat and the shirt match, don't they?
They look like Australian prison scrubs.
He looks like a Floridian leprechaun.
What? Justin Franks is saying a 5 Tesla MRI machine is fairly common now. So that's the deal. An MRI machine is extremely strong, and it's 5 MRI. This particular field was 15 Tesla. So, okay. Oh, hold on a second. I got a couple things here. We got Rama for 56 said, I watched the first few minutes of that stupid film. Face palm protection is needed. Also, I'm pretty sure I spotted a lie in the intro. That won't be the first. And then Jeff Kane, who challenged Fred Knotts to debate, said, did Scaredy Fred leave the chat? He talked so much smack and ran out the flat. There it is.
Flat earther running scared?
Yeah.
Man, you guys, I'm just getting hit with so many surprises today.
Not all of them. Not all.
Things I did not expect.
Mallory's here. You gotta credit where it's due.
Mallory's cool. Mallory's like Jon Snow. She's cool.
That's true. We love John and Mallory.
We love them both. We love all of our friends.
Is it St. Patty's Day? All right. Let's see. Glober Mom, yes, crashes. People should talk with respect in the chat. So, hey, if you're not talking respectful, then switch it up, man. Let's be respectful. Or I'm gonna have to pull out the bro. I'm gonna bro you. So let's not resort to the bro. Okay, let's see what else he has.
When you try to find the curvature of the Earth, it's nowhere to be found.
Oh, he
unless
didn't.
You're looking at footage from GoPro cameras that have fisheye lenses, Hollywood movies, or NASA propaganda.
Started making.
Well, again, I guess he didn't really. MC2.net/ let's see, where would you go to find the curve? Oh yeah, MC2.net/ curve. There you go. It's actually there you go, a bunch of them. So here's a good one.
Kind of looks like he kind of looks like an Amish rapper.
An Amish rapper.
Yeah, check out his...
it does. It looks like all of his clothes were homemade.
Yeah. Well, but the background doesn't have a proper Amish barn. But
it's not far off it though.
Yeah, I think Weird Al really owned the Amish rapper look though.
He sure did.
No, nobody can pull off Amish.
He looks like Weird Al in between takes of doing the Amish rap video.
No, he's Weird Al in the middle of, he just finished the Amish rap video and he's getting ready for the fat video.
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody asked, hey Mallory, I'm gonna ask this to Mallory quick. Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. What do you think about D&D? Because when FDFE said he played it, you said you play D&D in kind of a strange or interesting way.
Can I actually, because I don't mean to cut you off, MC Toon, because Mallory, I actually do play D&D with FTFE on our channel, Globers and Goblins. Go sub to Globers and Goblins. But yeah, I don't know. We'd have to clear it with the DM. But I was actually trying to get FTFE to ask you if maybe you'd want to play around with us.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes.
Glober's playing Dungeons and Dragons. I've never played the game, but
Oh, come on.
Yep. I think
I've never played it either.
I think the idea was that they were thinking you did play.
no, I just
Okay.
know some had played, and I think it's cute, but yeah, never played it.
Okay. All right. Mallory, this is I want to ask you about this. So there's no curve is the thing, right? And there's lots of different balloons. And a lot of the time the balloons are that they have either a kind of a narrow angle or they have a fisheye. And the fisheye, I don't care for the fisheye, but Dwayne Callum is a flat earther. And he didn't want to have any fisheye. So he went and he got himself a lens that is rectilinear. It's a Sony FE 50mm 1.8. It's a pretty nice lens. And here's the deal. They from this website, I forgot the particular website, but there it is. thedigitalpicture.com reviews lenses and then takes pictures of things to quantify the actual distortion. And here is the actual distortion of the lens. And if you look at this pretty closely, you'll see there's no induced curvature in the lens. The lens doesn't add curve, right? And
I bet I can already guess what Mallory's answer is going to be, and I've never spoken to you before.
Let's give her the benefit. Let's give her the benefit.
All right, let me try this, right? MC Tune, I'll send you a quick Discord message of what I think Mallory's answer might be.
Okay, we'll see
How
if
about
you're
that?
okay. All right. Here's the cool thing. This can be verified.
So what are you asking me?
I'm not there
So
yet.
You're showing me.
I'm leading up to it.
okay.
So I'm explaining. So because
Okay.
doing science is sometimes very rigorous. And this isn't actually very rigorous, but it is more rigorous than just sending a camera up where you don't know the properties of the lens, right? So we know the properties of this particular lens. It does not add curve, right? So then he sent it up in a balloon to 117,000 feet. And here's a still from his video. Now I added this line going across it is my thing. You can get the video. I have the link on right on here, mc2.net/Dwayne Kellum, or it's linked off of /curve. And you can get the video yourself. You can watch the video yourself without the line in and all that. And you can look and see on the edge here what I did, and you can do it yourself. I put the top of that line right next to the horizon, right on the left side. And then
Okay, yeah.
you can see there's getting a little bit of a gap between the line and the horizon, right? And then we keep moving and it comes back down, right? So then on the right side where I ended it, there is no gap between the line and the horizon again. That's a curve right there.
Okay, but that yellow line, it doesn't look solid.
Yeah, it's slightly diagonal.
Like it has like those little.
Yeah, those are differences in pixels. I chose not to anti-alias that particular line so you could see it very clearly. There's other frames you could do where you can test all you want and see if there's curve there. You can see it with your eyes. You can test it by drawing a line. You could quantify it by counting the gap between the lines and the horizon. Any number of ways you could do it to see if there is actually a curve. Remember, this is a flat earther that did it, not one of us, right? There is one, Mage 2. You may have seen that from Mr. Sensible. You were talking to Mr. Sensible, right?
I don't think so.
No, okay, but he did it as well, and he's a YouTuber like I am here, right? So anyway, we can do that. Now, here's the thing: if you do what's a horizontal compression, where you squish it much more narrow, what it does is it leaves straight lines straight, and it makes curved things more visible. So I did that with a still from the video, and there it is. So that's the horizon, It's actually the same still from the video without that yellow line across it. So we can clearly see it is curved. So when ODD says, where's the curve? It's right here. What do you say to that?
Well, on this picture, I do see that there is a curve. Like, I'm not going to say that it's straight.
Okay, good. I have had people say they don't see a curve, so I appreciate that.
That picture smushed, well, it's smushed together and you could see it going down. Like,
yeah, so the lens was slightly tipped. The camera was slightly tipped. And like I said, I took kind of a random screenshot, right? That not any one particular. I could have maybe chosen one that had the horizon that was more left to right, not tipped.
Yeah, by smushing the picture, you can see the curve. And when you flatten out, like the yellow line that you showed, it does have like you could see like it has like, it looks like it's stairs.
That's pixels.
Like going down.
Those are individual pixels. Yeah.
That, to me, that's just a little sus,
No.
You can do it yourself.
Full on straight.
Yeah, you can do it yourself. I could have anti-aliased the line, if you know what that means. I could have artificially boosted the resolution of the picture so that these when you zoom it in, you don't see these lines. Right? But I didn't do that. I'm not trying to hide anything or
yeah. Well, I'm glad you're admitting that that we're all seeing that the line is going, it's like stairs going
stair
down.
steps. Yeah. That's
so
what So here's the challenge to you, Mallory. You can get the original image, the original video. It's right on my website, mctoon.net/curve or /Dwayne Kellum, and look at it yourself, analyze it for yourself, and see what you think.
Yeah, I'll definitely outline it. I just find it kind of a bit suspicious.
All right.
I hate to interrupt, but there's a pressing question from the chat.
Okay.
I don't hate to interrupt. MC Toon, are we going to get past the first minute of this video?
I was getting to that, but you interrupted me. All right.
Oh, shit.
Irish Demon, his guess was controlled opposition or After Effects. So Mallory, he was wrong. Okay, let's keep moving here.
In the videos in 2014, early 2015, started getting noticed. You're living in a world where there's fake people faking events on TV in order to move agendas forward, with the earth being flat. I couldn't just be impossible.
So this is all right, where'd that go?
What would the benefit of
like a GoPro lens, a wide angle lens?
Yeah, I mean, how does, all right, where'd it go? There was
here's the thing, right? That if I can just, right, so a lot of them say, oh, it's because they're trying to hide God or they're trying to control the masses. Would it not be a lot easier to control the masses by making them believe that they live in this, snow globe that's being watched constantly by this sky daddy or whatever, like people used to believe before, which led to, wars and all of these horrors and complete control of the church over the majority of the world. So would it not make more sense to go, yep, you live in this giant snow globe and we're watching everything you do?
Oh yeah, I like state-controlled religion seems to be a little better way to do it to me, but
agreed.
So, we're getting into Dave that drinks his own piss. Here's the deal, Dave Murphy. Let me just say this right here. Here's the deal, Dave Murphy. Adding therapy to the end of something doesn't make it therapy. So when you say drinking your piss is urine therapy, it's not. It's drinking
you're in trouble.
It's your waste. It's your waste materials, right? Are you going to make the next thing? Why don't you just eat Tootsie Roll sandwiches? If you know what I mean. It's the same thing. Yeah. It's waste. So
I just, my whole thing about it is like that just, it came out of you. Like,
yeah, all right.
Most things that come out of me, I'm not too eager to try to put back in me, you know?
Even if you bleed, you don't put it back in you. Like,
right, like
Nope.
you may stick it in your, like, if you cut your finger, you might put it in your mouth and like wave it off, but you're not like sucking the blood, like, stay inside, daddy needs you.
All right. Oh my. Jeff Kane says, newbie here, looking for a flat earther to debate in a chat this weekend, hoping for MC2 to moderate. I can't this weekend. I typically do them on Tuesdays, but if you can find somebody, let's go. I have two live streams set up for Tuesday already. One's with a flat earther. One is with a guy, a slim cyborg that has he's
going to get destroyed is all I can say.
Who is?
Slim.
Oh no, he's not a flat earther.
No, I know that. Am I not debating him, no?
No.
Who am I debating then?
Oh, we haven't set up that debate yet.
Oh, I thought we'd set it up. I thought I was taking on Slim.
No.
Maybe I just dreamt that.
You probably did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Been something that happened on Tuesday.
Yeah.
For you.
I assume Irish dreams about MC2 a lot.
It's probably
all the time.
Likewise, Irish Demon. Likewise.
That's
okay.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I had a dream Simon Dan was there.
Oh my gosh. Okay. PhD Tony says, is Mallory aware of the industrial and commercial applications of seismology and gravimetry, and that they are totally incompatible with a flat Earth?
I don't even know what those big words are.
What, Earth or flat?
Seismology and gravimetry.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Seismology is the study of earthquakes.
Like the measurement of earthquakes.
It's what Tony does, rock boy stuff.
Yeah.
He's a rock star. He's a literal rock star.
Different kind of rock star, yes. And gravimetry would be the measurement of the changing magnitude of the Earth's gravitational field. And it varies all over the Earth. It's been quantified, and to a very, very extremely precise level, to between 9 and 12 digits of precision.
And it's really important for a lot of industries.
Oh yeah. And he uses that information, and I think maybe we talked about this, Mallory. He uses that information, the measurements of the varying gravitational field of the Earth, to identify that under the Earth somewhere is minerals. So if there is a higher gravitational field, then it's likely that there's gold or platinum or iron or something that is more dense. And if it's less, like maybe there's oil here because it's less dense, stuff like that. So people pay him to analyze the varying gravitational field of the Earth and tell them where there are likely to be things found. And he doesn't just do it once, he does it over and over and over, and because he doesn't fail, right? If he was just guessing, if gravity didn't exist, then if he used this thing that doesn't exist to identify where there might be minerals, and there weren't minerals there, what would they do? They would say, screw you, we're not giving you our business anymore.
Exactly.
David Brock says the basis of elevation in the U.S. will be gravity-based starting in 2022. It's a whole different thing. I want to maybe have him on. He knows his stuff. I was emailing with him earlier. So, what do you think about that, Mallory? The varying gravitational field.
Feels like I should have brought a glass cup instead of my plastic cup for this fascinating conversation. The only big word I know is supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. That's all I'm going to say about this.
Okay.
I like hippopotamonstrosesquipedaliophobia. That's the fear of big words.
Yeah,
I like
can't
potatoes.
even pronounce it.
I like turtles.
Anyway, so if we can get past the 40th second, that would be awesome.
My goodness, we're 6 minutes in. All right. So, all right, what is he doing here? He's talking. Oh yeah. So I'm not even gonna let him. You see that this is a video with no solar filter. So you're seeing glare, and then it gets into the clouds, and then the clouds act as a solar filter, and then you don't see the sun anymore. And they're like, hey, that's proof that the sun is going away. All that is proof of is that they don't know how to use a camera to properly expose a picture. That's it. I don't know. It's the same thing. And there's several round trips of this. Of course, the problem is if the Earth were flat, the sun could never set. So there you go, flat Earth.
But they showed these people showed an experiment where they took a camera on a table, on a flat surface like a table, and you could see the boat kind of disappearing. And right there, I was like, that's how it works.
Except, so they're saying refraction does that, and refraction does bend light, but they intentionally bent it the opposite direction of how light bends in the atmosphere. That's lying. That was from Rob Skiba, a claimed Christian, who lied about that. He didn't bother checking to see which way the light actually bends in the atmosphere. What he did is he set up an experiment, and he kept trying things until he got his desired results. That's the opposite of science. So yeah, and they do show that in a little bit here. So we'll move on. We'll see if that happens. Same thing here. No solar filter. Now I do have on my website a collection of sunsets with solar filters. So it's not on my website. That's on my channel, actually, my YouTube channel. I'm gonna have to pull that up. So
while you're doing that, can I just ask Mallory a quick question for you?
Yes.
Why is it in certain parts of the world the sun for half of the year doesn't set at all, and then for the other half of the year pretty much doesn't rise if it's moving along a circular path?
I have no idea. That's God's creation. I don't know.
Okay, but do you accept that that doesn't comport with a flat Earth model where the sun moves around in a circle around the flat plane?
To me, it would just make
possible.
sense if the sun and the moon is not as big as they say, and then you try to circulate. Like I'm still looking into that. There's some flat earthers that try to prove that point.
But can you see the issue though? If they're saying that it moves around in a perfect circle around the flat Earth, right? It doesn't explain how two different sides of the Earth, in other words, the North Pole and the South Pole, experience 6 months of much longer light throughout the day, about 20 hours on average, and then the inverse on the other side of the year.
There could be no South Pole. It could just be like Antarctica being the main cold part, and then the rest is just all the other islands, like continents or whatever you want to call them.
But wouldn't that make Antarctica hundreds and hundreds of thousands of miles long?
It could be. That's why they restricted the area, and you can only go for so long. Then you just die because of the cold.
People live there year round.
Just a bit, maybe just a tip, but not too deep.
They
all
live
the way in. Did they reach to the other side without dying?
The South Pole?
Yeah.
See, no, I don't know.
All right, let's get to this. So this video here, this is the sun filmed sunrise, sunset, and midday at different times with a solar filter. In fact, this one is by Felipe Rockholt, a flat earther that I encouraged to get a solar filter. He put it on, and because he was doing the same videos as ODD was talking about there, saying the sun gets bigger, but it's just glare. I said, hey, go get a solar filter. So he did. And he filmed, and he got this, and he sees that at sunset and sunrise and midday, the sun is the same size. So this is with the same camera here at sunrise, and there's another part that's at midday, and another is at sunset, and it's the same camera, the same zoom, and the sun is the same size the whole time. How was that? There you go.
It's moving away. Does it get bigger as it's moving away, maybe? Mallory?
Well, it doesn't get bigger when it moves away. It goes smaller when it moves away.
It actually
to the eye.
But when you measure it, it's the same size.
When you measure it, doesn't.
Yeah. So here's the sunset, and it's the same size, right? When you to the eye, yes, but the eye can be deceived.
It's almost like it's millions of miles away and the Earth is a globe. Almost.
Could be. That's a hypothesis.
Could
there.
be.
So I put that in the chat there. Play it a little faster because there's a few of them. The thing is, these claims that they make are always based on a low quality, maybe intentional way of doing it. The sun doesn't just go away and shrink down to a dot. It actually crosses the horizon at the same size as it was midday.
It's like Nathan Thompson's video of stars where it's literally just a blurry image on a shitty camera.
Yeah. So this one is from Wolfie 6020, sped up 20x, and I'm playing it at double speed even. So there's that. Now it keeps going. So ODD again is incorrect. So there's
shocker.
Yeah, we were talking. All right, this is from Red's Rhetoric. Several different stills put together, and all of the sizes of the sun are the same. And then he does a comparison of them side by side right here, and they're all the same size from sunrise to sunset. There you go. So there's that. All right, let's get back to ODD and his we're going to get to Dave Murphy. Oh, good old Dave.
Earth, proving that the sun isn't an experiment between on a sunny day with broken cloud. What you'll see is that light comes down at angles, diverging angles. And that means that we can follow those light rays back to the source and triangulate the sun's height above the Earth.
Which he never did. In this movie, he never did that. Now, here's the problem. If crepuscular rays do that, then if I'm standing on train tracks and I look down the train track and they appear to converge to a point, does that mean that the train tracks meet down the line there? What do you think? No.
Obviously,
either the train tracks do meet somewhere down the line, or, call me crazy, crepuscular rays of the sun are not what he is claiming they are. He didn't actually measure. He talked about the Eratosthenes measurement of the radius of the Earth, which I've done myself, and says, oh, you can't, never mind that actual measurement that used numbers. We can measure using crepuscular rays, but I'm not actually going to do any measurement. Nobody ever did any measurement of it. It's kind of weird, kind of lazy, actually.
Yeah.
I've never seen any really try to do the math behind what they claim is possible. Oh, this is fantastic. This one here. Oh yeah. The moon puts out. Oh, it's so dumb. That the moon
is so easy light, to debunk. Something the science priests must have forgotten to teach us all about in school. Not only that, but at times we can see stars through the moon.
No.
Proving.
Okay. This here, the direct moonlight and indirect moonlight. So you'll, if I can get back a little bit to it, you can actually see.
Shade from the sun is cool.
You can actually see that there is a thing over the top. Right there. Look at that. It's like, here is how you deceive people. Here are the instructions for how you deceive people from a flat earther. Put something directly over the top to trap the heat. That's
like
how you
a
deceive
house
people.
or a tent.
Didn't Greater Sapien debunk this?
Oh,
like
there's
ago?
a few people that did.
Yeah.
Step one, if moonlight is cooling, then what temperature is moonlight in Kelvin? It must be negative Kelvin. Now, Mallory, I don't expect that you probably know what that means.
You're right, I don't.
Okay, Kelvin is a temperature scale. It's similar to Celsius, but 0 Kelvin is the absolute coldest temperature possible. Hypothetically possible. Nothing can actually get to 0 Kelvin. In order for light to cool something, light would need to be less than 0 Kelvin, because that's the only way. It's because if it has more than 0 Kelvin, it is adding energy. It is making something warmer. So the only way to make it cooler would be for it to be negative Kelvin, which is impossible and violates the first law of thermodynamics.
Magic.
It is magic. If somebody were to actually discover that, they would win an expensive Swedish prize. And do you know why the scientists look at this and don't go and get for themselves that expensive Swedish prize? Because it's crap. Because everybody that knows their stuff looks at this and says, that's ridiculous. They're not controlling for conflating variables. So if you want to do that, don't put it directly above, right? You would put if the moonlight was coming there, you'd put something vertical like this, right? And then have something here where the moonlight can't get it, and something here where the moonlight can get it, and see what temperature difference you have. So there's nothing above it that would trap the heat.
They basically put a tea cozy on the one that they wanted to be warmer.
Yes.
Genius.
It is genius if your intention is to deceive people.
Precisely.
So anyway, all right, let's keep going here. I'm going to see if I can find where he totally destroys. All right, maybe he's not. This guy. All right, we're going to move it on past Dave. This guy is a tattoo artist.
I mean, people are sick of the lies. This is the biggest deception ever. The glow.
How is a tattoo artist an authority?
Deception. If NASA was legit,
all I can
they
think
would have
about
to
right
do
now is, could you imagine being
take
sat
one of their
in a chair for
satellites,
multiple sessions
zoom
with this
in
guy?
on someone in Australia, upside down, driving a car.
Really?
Or in the ocean, swimming, upside down. That's all they would have to do, just zoom in.
All right, Mallory, what is upside down in space?
What do you mean, what's upside down in space?
Whoa.
Like Australia's upside down?
Well, yeah. I mean, he's talking about upside down things. So, like,
yeah.
I'm actually strapped to this chair so that I don't fall out that way. I'm in Australia, by the way.
Yeah, you can't tell by his accent, but he is in Australia. We've got Punchy on the line here too. How you doing, Punchy?
Hey, Punchy.
What are we talking about? Baseball?
We're talking about the new movie Level that came out today by ODD and Eric DeBay and others. And we've got on the line here Mallory and AndTheJordSaid.
That Punchy.
Going on.
So yeah, I hope they don't think that the movie They Live was a documentary. Yes, they do think that is a documentary. So here's the deal. They are just misrepresenting how things work, because down is towards the center of the earth. So nobody in Australia is upside down.
The movie They Live hits closer to reality than not, though. Just a
actually, there's a movie coming out tomorrow that hits closer to home than reality. That's Mortal Kombat. That really says something.
Nice. So there's no upside down, and like in space, down is towards the center. So there is no upside down people. And of course, how do you make a picture be right side up that's upside down? You just spin it, right? It's I don't know. And so yeah, so for this tattoo artist who is obviously didn't quite make it through middle school, he's like, zoom in. He wants the Hubble telescope, right? Why that particular telescope? There's plenty of cameras.
The only one they know.
There's plenty of cameras.
The only one they know.
Yeah, there's lots of cameras pointed at the Earth already. So why does it have to be that one? Couldn't it be any of the dozen others? Of course it could.
How about the Himawari?
It's just goalpost moving.
Of course.
Right? It could be any, and there are many that have been done. And what do they always say? Fake.
CGI.
So if somebody, if they did point the Hubble at the Earth, what would they say? They would say the same thing. So it is an obvious goalpost moving exercise when they say any particular thing like that.
Not to mention, if you turn the Hubble towards Earth, all you would get is just complete blur.
Yeah, it's not designed.
It's designed exactly. It's designed to look into deep space. It's like if you take your cell phone or your camera and you zoom it into the max and then hold it really close to something, it's just going to blur out. It's the exact same thing. The Hubble is not designed to do that at all.
Then
here we go.
It's like it's doing that and expecting to see like individual mitochondria. And
can't you read that? Can't you read that? I'm zoomed in.
Wait, let me see. What does it say? I can't read that on this channel.
It's my slide rule. Oh dear, it's toasty in here. So, all right. Don't forget a Sinister's email to MC Tune. It's old school. Okay, I don't know what that is. All right. But of course you can just jump on Google Earth and you can zoom into Australia. That simple.
But
the Himawari.
Or the Himawari, yeah.
We have the footage of them in the space capsule, still in Earth orbit, covering up a small section of the window, so you can see through the circle and making that look like that was the Earth. And this is a joke. I mean, how do people?
Yeah, it doesn't understand photography. Whoop-de-doo.
This is real. I think it's hilarious that NASA will straight up tell you to destroy the technology to go to the moon.
I'd go to the moon.
It's the same crap every time.
Yeah.
They in 1972, Congress is like, we're not giving you any more money for the Apollo program. What do you do if you're in charge of NASA and you have no money to maintain it?
Well, what you do is
close it down.
No, you steal the taxpayers' dollars from every single nation in the world for an American company.
Apparently.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's like they didn't pay any attention to it. Yeah, same Buzz Aldrin thing. This guy isn't Flurf 101. He's like Flurf 81.
So is there anything new in this?
No,
movie,
there's nothing new. I don't know who this lady is in here a couple times. I don't know who she is. No, there's nothing new in this movie. It's like, you know, what are you trying to do here? Why didn't I thought there might be something new, right?
That was your first mistake, expecting anything from a flat earther. But anyway, guys, it's getting kind of late for me, and I got work in the morning, so I'm going to have to drop out of here. I had a great time. It was nice meeting you, Mallory. It was nice seeing you guys again. And
you too, man.
Hopefully we'll talk later.
Absolutely.
All right.
Take care, buddy.
Thank you. We got Charlie says in the chat, the reality is there are several telescopes almost identical to Hubble up there that look at the Earth all the time. That's what keyhole spy sats are. Yeah, which, you know, for good reason, we don't just get to see. So, all right. Oh yeah, he goes on about Yeah, here, Eddie Bravo. Again, it's like, don't they have the ability to get a smart person? No, of course
watch
not.
all that shit and wonder what. This is all cartoons.
And every now and then I think to myself, it's weird that we're not watching any actual footage of space. It's all CGI.
What, just as you say so?
Apparently, this guy who has no background in CGI is able to identify CGI and just blanket declare everything CGI without providing any forensic analysis of it.
I can't believe that he missed the opportunity to go.
This is a man.
What? Say that again, Punchy?
No, sorry, Punchy. You go ahead.
That's good. I was gonna say he's talking about the Earth, and he missed an opportunity to go. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Oh.
Well, good night, everybody.
see yourself out. See yourself. Is that Foehammer?
Yes, that is Foehammer.
Very
It's
nice.
like-
Welcome.
The thing is, right? This is a man whose sole purpose on this beautiful round planet is to get punched in the head. It's literally his job. Like, it's literally the man's job is to get the shit kicked out of him, get blows to the head, and he's like, "I'm telling you, man, the Earth is flat, man." And like, even when Alex Jones is calling you stupid, he's like, "I love you, Eddie, but you're wrong. The Earth's not flat." And it's like, you can't argue with Alex Jones.
when he's calling out flat earthers, that's it. All right, all right, hold on a second. I got a couple behind here. Jeff Kane said Dave Murphy is a Poe. Get me a legit challenger. I've challenged Dave Murphy. He doesn't. Then he says, then let me join Tuesday. Jeff Kane. I have two things on Tuesday. The first one is a structured debate. I can't mess with that. And then the second one is not a debate. It's with Slim Cyborg and talking about RFID chips going into people and the reality of what it would be to chip a person. So let's see. And Jeff Kane says again, man, he is on fire. He says, I would chat with Mallory, but her beliefs aren't based on reality. Wish I could have a one-on-one with her. What do you think of that, Mallory?
Did he just like contradicted himself? Like he wants to debate, but yet not, because I'm not focused on reality. Like,
yeah,
she's got a good point there.
Very good point.
Keep in mind he's drunk right now, so
yeah,
his logical decision making isn't all there right now. It will be in about 8 hours, though.
Good call there. Let's see. I'm trying to get it so people can see you all. That's
if they can't see me, you're doing them a favor.
Oh, come on.
All you got left to do is mute him.
Yeah,
the only thing I have are cool folk tales and interesting stories. And
I just wish my fiance would look at me the way Foehammer looks at his AR.
AR, that would be a
yeah, that would be an Armalite rifle there.
There you go.
Stands for assault rifle, fully semi-automatic, right?
No, does not.
You're starting to fully trigger me. Unintended.
Oh
man,
you don't want.
I bet you're sweating bullets. Oh shit. Yeah. Apparently AR stands for I've heard people say it stands for automatic rifle, assault rifle, and that the 15 is, I swear, as true as you're sitting here watching. Somebody told me before that AR-15 means assault rifle, and the bullet size is 15.
Wow.
I was like, what kind of bullet is size 15? I was like, do you think bullets or rounds going size 1 through 60 or what? And they're like, no, you know how you can get a 50 cal? Well, an AR-15 is a 15 cal.
Oh,
I'm
dear.
like,
Donkey has it right. AR is attack rifle.
Rifle, yeah.
Just like we have an AS, which is an attack surf, who's in the chat right now.
AR could also be like angry rifle.
There you go.
How do we get onto rifles?
Right, let's not be onto rifles here. Because David Griffin says if we keep stopping like this, the movie won't end. Well, honestly, we don't need to see a ton of the movie. We're just enjoying a little chuckle and some good company. Right. And then Glober Mom says
and Foehammer.
Yes. And Foehammer. Glober Mom for $5 says this is just Flurf saying the same stuff they show us in memes. This movie is a ripoff. I want my money. Oh wait. she gave it to me. Thanks. All right. Well, we can get back to this here. We're about halfway. Let's see. All right. We'll leave Mr. getting hit in the head all the time off.
Why don't you point it at the Earth and get some awesome shots of where we live?
They
all
do.
The pictures and images.
I was gonna say we have a lot.
Yeah. So yeah. Then he's about to lie here.
Are CGI. None of them are real.
We haven't gone past that. What, are you telling me that that's okay? We could just gloss over that? And they admit that they're all CGI.
No, they don't.
Wow.
Lie after lie from Eddie. All right, here, Mallory. NASA don't admit that all of them are fake. So what do you say to somebody that's making such a blatant lie?
But if you look at those pictures, all those Earth does look different. And then they showed like Earth pictures where it looked like it was Photoshopped. Like you'll see like the same little cloud image, like go boop, 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 like right underneath.
Let's go with this. No. Hold on.
Do you mind?
There's a specific question to you, Mallory, though. Eddie said they admit that all of them are fake or all of them are CGI. But that's an absolute lie. What do you say to Eddie about that?
That he said that NASA admitted that they CGI all their photos?
Yeah, he just made that claim.
I have nothing to say about it.
Okay, I'll play it again.
We haven't gone past that. What, are you telling me that that's okay? We could just gloss over that? And they admit that they're all CGI.
Can you just play it on just a tiny bit? Just there, yeah. So Mallory, right? You're saying that they all look different, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So see the first picture in the top left corner and underneath it says 1975, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at the one to the far right and it says 1997 and they do colors different and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at the one that says 2007 the same. It looks a bit clearer, the colors a bit better, etc. Right?
Mm-hmm.
If you were to go right now to a camera store and buy a camera that was made in 1975, a camera that was made in 1997, and a camera that was made in 2007, take a photograph of yourself with each one, would you expect yourself to have, the color would be the same, the grain would be the same? Would you expect that, or would you expect that they might look a little bit different to each other?
I think the photo quality would be different, yeah.
Let's also not forget that the 1975 was on a physical camera with physical film that was physically developed in a darkroom.
Exactly.
Like
I'm sorry, Mallory. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I saw one time somebody taking the, I think it was the 1975 photo and like changing the, I don't know if you take it to Photoshop and they could see that it was actually like, I forget because I haven't seen that in a while, but
I know what you're talking about. Can I expand on it and you tell me if I'm right?
Okay.
Right, because I know image stuff, right? So they zoomed in on the edges, they increased the contrast, and you see these jaggies and these like artifacts of things sticking around on the edges, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. That is the result of compression. So when you take an image and you compress it, you want to make it smaller in size, you do things that are compromises. You get rid of some of the data and you say, well, there's 1,000 different colors in this particular square, but some of them are close enough, so we're going to chuck 200 of them, and because they're all black and very nearly black, and we'll just make them all the same, very nearly black, right?
Plus,
And this chunk, we're going to do that again. We're going to do that with this. We're going to do that, right? You do all those different things to it. But it's still a pretty high-res picture, so that when we look at it with our eyes on a computer screen, we don't see those things, right? But you zoom in and you change the contrast to highlight those slight differences in colors. Yeah. And you see that. Now, that's a JPEG image, or there's other compression mechanisms. That's not the original image. And most of these, you can get the original uncompressed image, and that's a TIFF format, TIFF, Target Interchange File Format, if you're curious. And if those same people were to go to NASA's website and get the original uncompressed version of it and do the same thing, you know what they would not find? They would not find the JPEG compression artifacts.
Well, of course, they got better Photoshop skills now than.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. So I just want to make sure that I got the wording correctly here. Did you say that they said that the ones from 1975 that they found that they used Photoshop to make it, or that people found these discrepancies in Photoshop? That part I wasn't sure about. Mallory, I'm talking to you.
Oh, I don't remember that. I remember just seeing the post of it and going like, that's interesting, and going like, yeah, I know that. I don't know if I don't even know if I'm answering your question or not.
Well, just because the reason I ask, and the reason I'm specifically trying to get the wording here, is just to make sure that you didn't say like some other kind of photo editing software or program, is because if you want to go by the ones that predate, like I just Googled it right now, anything that predates 1987 couldn't be done in Photoshop, because that's when Photoshop was developed.
It didn't exist before that, yeah.
Yeah, but they could still use trickery back then. They were like, what happened to those like black and white first films where they like, that movie where they showed like a
but again, though, that's why I was asking specifically for the wording, because if they said specifically Photoshop, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, my wording is like not the best, so
so we could just say generally the claim is that it's somehow manufactured.
Yeah. But that's what I was gonna say. If it isn't Photoshop, then what is it? Because if all these flat earthers are so sure that they know what it is, then I'd love to hear an explanation. I think everyone would.
And if it's trickery, you should be able to recreate it.
Yes.
Yeah. Or you should be able to have a forensic image analyst expert look at it, at the original, and identify the actual stuff, but they never have anybody that actually has any background. It's just a tattoo guy or a guy who gets hit in the head for a career.
Whereas Red's Rhetoric had the Emmy nominee come on and look at some of these pictures, and he determined that none of them were CGI. So they were edited in a photo editor for a couple of them, but stuff like the Blue Marble was not. There was no changes to the photo whatsoever, other than digital compression for when it was uploaded onto the internet from a physical picture. I'm poorly describing that because this is not my wheelhouse. This is not what I'm good at.
So yeah, it's a good point. The originals from the Apollo missions and many of the others that were actually physical film that was developed in water in a dark room can be visited in person, and somebody could go get a forensic expert and look at them in person, but nobody's ever done that. You know why? They don't want to know. So Lubo in China keeps saying this: Google Maps and Google Earth had to blur their images and not show the photos to their full detail capabilities because of the privacy laws and security issues. Yes, that is correct. That there's only so much that they can show, and that there's some places where they even intentionally blur it, like government, atriums of government buildings and stuff.
Area 51.
Yes. What's that, Mallory?
I said, what are they hiding?
They don't want to tell us. And it's the U.S. military and government secrets that they don't want other countries to know. And rightly
I
so.
can actually answer this. I'm a veteran, so I know a little bit more about stuff that happens in the military than most people who weren't in the military. So the reason why most government atriums, most military bases and stuff like that is blurred out and you're not allowed to visit them or go on them is simply for operational security and the soldiers' safety and airmen, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. I'm not going to go through all that diatribe. If you are able to film inside a government building, you now know the layout. And if an attack were to happen, it is that much harder for the people who are inside to protect that building, having the full advantage of knowing the layout. Now, everybody knows the layout. It's on equal playing ground. While it's fair, it makes it harder to protect a certain area.
Yeah, and also I was going to say, when it comes to that, like even the company that I work for, which is not anywhere close to that level of classification, you can't even go in and film, say, the production line because they have certain things they don't want other companies to know about in said line because that's how they do things. And now, most people probably know where I work, but basically, yeah, if a company that I work for, which has nothing to do with military secrets or safety secrets, if they don't even want that, and just imagine why a way higher advanced organization would. And again, no one thinks that the company I work for is hiding the shape of the Earth. So it's maybe just it's not. You shouldn't always jump to that conclusion just because there's a bit of secrecy behind something.
Or my pot farm.
Exactly.
We don't allow people to film on our pot farm. That I'm a security specialist at a pot farm, so I would agree with what Christ Puncher is saying here.
Facty, Punchy, we're both Canadians.
All right,
you guys are the same.
Let's move on.
Just one quick thing. I worked in counterterrorism for the last 2 years of my previous career. And part of that was one of the things we used to watch out for the most was people secretly filming in court. And one of the reasons for that is because there's a very real risk of attack on prisoners or attack on judges or high value targets and things like that. So some things need to be kept secret. I have arrested people for sticking a camera in our face because we absolutely had to for, as Foehammer was saying, what we call OPSEC, Operation Security. Our identities needed to be protected. I wasn't allowed to give out my real name, things like that. It's just little things. It doesn't mean there's a big conspiracy. It's just for people's protection. That's all it is. That goes right across the board. So,
all right.
So they're not hiding anything really. They're just trying to keep everybody safe.
Well, and sometimes they can.
Oh my
but
goodness!
For completely different reasons.
I'm sorry, dude.
So they also block
No. Different pictures, different cameras, different distances, different purposes to the camera. You would not expect them to all look the same. In fact, if they did all look the same, that would be fishy. Okay.
Well, and then also, even
Except
if let's
for
say
one,
that every
1972, which is fake. They have one picture. They say one is real.
No, they don't say one is real. There are thousands.
To all the rest of CGI, like where are the fucking pictures of Earth from space? I want.
All right.
1975 Blue Marble.
There you go. That is one of thousands in that same library. And on Flickr, so a group of people went to the actual original images in Houston and scanned them all in, independent of NASA. This isn't NASA that did it. It was somebody else that did it. And they posted them all on Flickr. All right. And I'm going to pull them up. And I'm going to put it in the chat and I'm going to send it to Mallory. And I should send it to Eddie Bravo, but I don't think he's quite bright enough to capture. Oh my goodness, what's happening to Evernote? Come on, Evernote. There it is.
Like the Himawari 8 sends us about 140 images of the Earth every single day.
Yeah.
I've used the Himawari 8 to track wildfires about 10 miles from my house. I could see it out my window and live from space. I'd love for someone to explain that to me.
Simple. They started the fires and then sent the pictures.
Exactly. They CGI'd in the and the Himawari 8 found a massive bushfire in the middle of Papua New Guinea where nobody knew where it was, and they saved thousands of lives of tribes that lived out in the bush. So, of course, they just uploaded those pictures to the internet that we could all watch live. People who are enthusiasts were watching it and said, "Oh, this looks concerning." Contacted the PNG police and let them know that there was this massive bushfire and they evacuated thousands of people.
Yeah, they're diabolical like that.
Without those photos,
dirty.
more people than you could imagine would have died.
Yeah, in a horrible way.
Yeah, burning alive is not something it's not a fate that you want to experience.
No, that's right.
All right, so here we go. Here is on Flickr.com, the Project Apollo archive. You can look it up yourself. Eddie Bravo wants thousands of pictures of Earth from space, and here they are. You can spend all day looking at photographs that were taken on film. The thing is, they chose one and then called it the Blue Marble because it was well framed and well photographed and well lit. But all of these,
and they changed the orientation of it.
Yeah,
Yes.
they rotated it. So one after the other after the other.
Sorry.
Right.
But are there pictures of the cookies that are used to improve your experience on Flickr?
The cookies?
At the bottom.
I've got some cookies.
I'm sorry, I had
your
to.
experience of anything.
All right. And then if you want to go to Houston, I'll send this to you, Mallory. If you want to go to Houston, you can. You just make an appointment. There it is. I'll send you also the Flickr one. So, okay.
In all fairness, going to Houston might be a little bit tricky for some people right now, but
yeah, it's not. It's unusual times. So there we go. All right, we'll get back to these people, these serial liars. Let's move on a little bit here to let's see what this is.
Record the earth from a dark window. Do it on the computer afterwards. People will fall for it. People will fall for it. People must know. And the heavens declare the glory of God.
Has been indoctrinated. It has.
Oh, this guy's a turd. Wow, I'm not even going to give him the time. He's horrible. Santos Bonacci, that guy can... Nope. He's a horrible person. Don't like him. So, yeah. Pilots. They're like, hey, pilots.
Most pilots.
So, they're like, pilots say the Earth is flat. Where are these pilots? Open invitation, pilots. Come on. You can explain to us how you navigate.
Know their plane is flying over a plane. A stationary plane.
Nah.
Always a smooth and level flight. We never feel the plane dipping its nose down.
Because you wouldn't expect that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's like 5 years ago this stuff was stupid. And they're just repackaging it. I really was hoping for something kind of new. For the amount of hype that they put into it.
I mean, even
It's
Eric
not even
Dubé's...
well produced.
Go ahead, Demon.
Sorry, I was just saying it's not even well produced.
No, not particularly. No.
They spent the budget on research. No money left for production.
There was no research.
I know. Well, they only had $10.
Oh my
gosh.
I mean. So Tim Brown is saying, go rate this movie at IMDb. I think that either Dubé or Hibbler has it, so you can watch it on YouTube. If you want to watch it, if you want to go to IMDb and rate it there, that would, give your honest impression of the movie.
We only feel the landing. Which flight route matches?
We would not expect to...
Look at how stupid this is. They take the not globe on the left and compare it to the not globe on the right, but they're trying to give you the impression that on the left is the globe, right?
Yeah.
That's a kind of an equirectangular projection or a Mercator type projection.
I say it looks like a Mercator because you can just see Iceland's.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the wrong one. And then they have this horrible, like, I don't know what this one is on the right. That's not an AE projection.
It's like clip art.
It's
like doodlings that I did when I was 5 years old.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Not even good ones.
It's finger painting is what it is.
Well, and did I find it funny how Mexico is not even like how it's so far away from South America?
It's disconnected.
Where's Ireland?
Dude,
I didn't realize the Panama Canal was that big.
The Panama Canal's huge. Oh
man, that ship never would have got stuck in that canal.
Do you see that potato-shaped thing off to the left, Demon? That's where Ireland is.
That makes sense.
What? Where? What? There's no. There isn't even England. England is gone.
Well, was it ever there in the first place?
All the better. All the better.
Gosh. Madagascar
is an island.
Madagascar got moved north, and it's
really long.
Oh my! No kidding.
The only country that matters on there is the U.S.
Apparently.
Canadian.
No, Canada's there too. We're there. We exist. All right, we did it.
Oh jeez. That is just dumb. How are they supposed to? Are people supposed to get fooled by this? This is so stupid.
Reality in your mind. If you chose the left, you may need medical attention.
No.
Everything beneath you while flying is level and motionless.
Level, yes, because level is a curved surface.
Just as expected, flying over a stationary plane. Sometimes it's hard to see far ahead of you, but other times...
You could probably see the Rockies from Kansas.
Wow.
But maybe if it's a clear day, but if it's smoke...
Wow, such quality science out of these guys.
Just randomly estimating for a general answer is not a citation. And trying to use this as such is intellectually dishonest. Well, I'm not going to say that.
All this effort, and never did they actually do any science or try to measure anything.
So this pilot's saying that everything is flat up there?
He didn't say it was flat.
So... So if you've heard Wolfie 6020, who's a pilot, he says when people come on to the flight deck, the pilots want them out of there and they mess with them. And so they do things to get them out, and they do things to just appease them, and they sometimes do things just to mess with people.
I was gonna say, you know what? If I was like a professional pilot that drove like over a commercial airline, and if I knew about flat earthers and I heard them coming and talking to me, I would totally make everything up and be like, no, we actually use this map. It's the A map, but we actually do fly this. It's amazing. Yeah. That'd be great.
Yeah. Like that's not actually really anything. Like I said, where is the pilot that can show us how to navigate using a flat Earth map?
We have Wolfie 6020.
It never happens. What happened here?
I saw one time it was a jet pilot from like the military admitting that the world was flat. He said that he could see from this point to this point easy. And
That's not an admission that the Earth is flat.
Earth.
That was me. If it's the one that I think you're talking about, that was me.
That was you.
Yeah. I sent an email to Nathan Thompson telling him that I was a high altitude strategic bomber pilot.
I remember that.
And
yes.
That was amazing. I sent an email. I was like,
he ate it up.
I can't say. He was like, oh my God, bro. And he went live straight away. He was like, I just got this email. I'm going to try to get this guy on. Man, I thought I was listening in the car. I thought I was going to actually crash into the side of the road. I laughed so much. I was like, I have trolled him so many times, man. It's like when you hide something behind your back or pretend to throw a ball for your dog. It's the same reaction. That kind of, where's it gone? Oh my God, that's exactly the same reaction. My chihuahuas are smarter than Nathan Thompson.
Geo is smarter than Nathan is.
All right, SE Montreal's in the chat saying that I think he wants to debate me. I accept SE Montreal. Let's make it happen. All right, this one is great. I love this. This is the government docs that admit, right?
I have skipped over their
So look at this here.
training manuals. In their flight dynamics summary, section 112 explains all you'll need to know about what you're flying over.
Okay. This is fantastic. He chose the worst one. Back. He chose the worst possible one for his position, right? You see the first two. The first before that says, in the summary, want to describe the flight dynamics with equations. This is, however, very difficult to simplify a bit. We have to make some simplifying assumptions. Eric, this is on screen on your own movie that you didn't bother to read because you got such a Woody because it says flat. We assume that there is a flat Earth. There is a non-rotating Earth. The aircraft has constant mass. The aircraft has a rigid body. The aircraft is symmetric. There are no rotating masses like turbines. An airplane with no turbine? Weird. And there is constant wind. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things here, Eric Dubé, ODD TV, Hibbler Productions, and all the other clowns. 7 things, and you only read 2. So let me see. Is this an admission that the mass of an aircraft does not change in flight? Is this an admission that aircrafts actually are rigid?
Oh, and they're also symmetric. Like, actually, when they're putting passengers on, they make sure everyone weighs the exact same when they sit on each side of the plane.
Yeah, you can't move while you're on the plane because it's symmetric. And there are no rotating masses like turbines. Name an airplane that doesn't have turbines.
Oh, that one that crashed. Wait.
Yeah. And there is constant wind. Are they admitting that there's no such thing as variable wind? No. How dumb do you have to be to read just those couple things and ignore the rest and say, wait a second, maybe there's more going on here than I thought. Maybe there's more going on here than I understand because maybe Eric Dubé and ODD and company, you're not engineers and you don't understand how engineering happens.
No, that can't be it.
Oh, there is one type of aircraft that does not have turbines, and that's ramjet.
Yep. Yeah, so gliders, yeah. But
thanks, Harry, for making me look smart for once.
Very good. Thank you, Harry Warp, for Foehammer. All right. But aside from them, maybe this is only useful for those. No, it's for regular airplanes. At turbines, specifically turbines, they call out, which is what jet engines have. It's
anyway. They had propellers and a bunch of things.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, it's right on there. It says to simplify a bit. We have made some simplifying assumptions. Oh, I love when they don't do their cherry picking very well. Anyway, if you're interested, I reviewed all 44 of the government docs that they think says things that it doesn't, and I noted the actual details of it. I read them. mctoon.net/gov docs. It took me a long time. So go ahead, have a look at that. Oh, okay. Hold on. I got a couple super chats. Hey, Mallory, you still with us? What do you think about that?
It's interesting.
All right. Thanks. FaQ Tube. Mr. Tube, first name Fa, says Flurfs are very environmentally responsible. They recycle their arguments. Good point. Very judicious in their
But at the same time, their carbon emissions are higher because they're just saying the same thing over and over and over.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a problem. I don't know how to feel about that anymore. Okay.
That just rocked my world.
All right. So then, and I'll silence it here, but they go over, they flash over different ones. All of these, again, all 44 of these are on my website. I personally read And I do have an engineering background. It was what I studied in college. So, this. Does anybody recognize this guy? I'm like, that's Donnie.
Donnie Lee.
That's Donnie Lee, Flat Earth, Watertown, New York, at the city council meeting, harassing them. And they're like, oh, Donnie, again?
This is the guy that wants to be a politician.
Yeah, that apparently his career is not moving forward. I've heard.
I wonder why.
That he didn't get whatever was necessary to be on the ballot. So I don't know. I didn't look into it. I only heard. So if you're curious, feel free to look it up for yourself. Oh, poor Donnie. Yeah, I had him on twice. And FEFE had him on twice.
He's lost in the sauce.
He's so dumb. So dumb.
From the Army Research Laboratory. This one's from the CIA. There's another one from NASA. This report documents the definitions of linear aircraft model.
All right. Again, bad.
The CIA.
Yeah. They talk about gravity. Oopsie. They talk about the rotation of the Earth. Right? They're like, we're not going to take the rotation of Earth into account, but here's some other stuff about the rotation of the Earth. And you know, all of these are. Rad Vlad is here. Everybody's showing up. Got nothing else going on a Thursday night, people. I'm glad to have you here.
Right, so aircraft of consistent mass flying over a flat.
Consistent mass. He read it, but didn't know what that meant. That means that the mass doesn't change.
The plane never loses fuel. It just stays the same, you know.
Apparently, yeah.
That's amazing. That fuel's that.
This comes right from our own government. Now, I have available 44 documents.
44. I reviewed them all.
Who do I give them to, sir?
You give those to the city clerk, please.
Which is this person here. So what I want is a law that's passed that we can't teach anything about the globe. We have to teach the truth of how things are.
From the documents to the imagery, they are.
He wants a law.
That's not how that works.
Oh, poor guy. Glass 722 MC2. Can you debate Christian concavers? I have. Maybe 2 months ago I did. You can look back at that one. The guy's pretty wacky.
They are not flying around a curve heading to outer space. They are flying over a stationary, flat plane.
Show your measurements, man. Show your measurements.
Stop falling for the illusions. Every rocket goes up and then levels out.
There's a reason for this.
I was gonna say I love that because no one's arguing that. Literally no one. Like
yeah, exactly.
I just love thinking of like a flat earther trying to send a rocket up into space. Just why did that happen? I'm so confused.
Well, let's just randomly shoot it off.
They think that rockets need to just go straight up, and that's how you get to space.
And
if you have a rocket with like infinite amounts of fuel, that will. Hold on a second. Do I smell a blobfish in the side chat?
You do.
Did I see Rad Vlad?
You do.
Mr. Vlad, I want a piece of you, boy. Rad Vlad, you called me out for a debate ages ago, and you disappeared. What's going on? I want to bring you. I want some Rad Vlad. I want some of this Rad Vlad action.
Why can't we bring him on now? Or like the
I'm down.
Bring him on
I
here
love
for
Rad Vlad.
this conversation.
I love Rad Vlad. Rad Vlad, anytime, my friend. He's awesome.
Oh my goodness.
I do agree. I do like Rad Vlad as well.
I do too. I think he's. I really want to sit down and have a beer with Rad Vlad. I reckon he's good fun.
So far, every debate I've had has been extremely cordial. So far, I've had two. One with Rad Vlad.
Mine won't.
And one with
JL. I should probably leave then. I'm not good at that kind of thing.
I am calmer than MC2
I think it's fair.
Well, maybe. We'll see. We gotta finish this.
Vladimir.
Wait, where's my laser pointer?
It has a Fabios 1 says this has a 6.1 rating on IMDb. If you disagree, you can have your say, I guess. So, all right.
Most of NASA's rockets launch from Florida and head towards the Bermuda
But NASA's not the only agency, Tony.
Triangle.
It is.
Well, besides the occasional... They're not shy about showing the truth in plain sight. 125 alleged miles up, and they show you our level horizon with a local sun. Then quickly switch cameras to their fisheye lens, as if that didn't...
It was fisheye before. It was fisheye in both of them. That one's fisheye there. That it's concave. Look at that. That's not flat. It's
I love having to throw in the local sun there. Just
Quiddy's the Sprinkler says this drinking game sucks. I'm taking a drink every time the movie gets something right, and I'm totally sober.
Poor Quiddy's gonna be sober forever.
I need to Brady Bunch it. 3 flat earthers on one side and 3 normal people on the other. Oh my goodness, that would be insanity. Mallory, you are too nice for Rad Vlad. That is.
Yes, you are.
That is.
Yeah, that's true.
He is a misogynist.
Of alleged miles up.
That doesn't mean he gives massages.
And they show you our level horizon with a local sun. Then quickly switch cameras to their fisheye lens, as if that didn't just happen. You have to pick one. You can't have both. Looks as if their cameras go about as high as...
Look at that. That one is concave, too.
Yeah.
Like this is...
As most hot air balloons do before they burst. Who do they think they're fooling? But let me guess.
They even showed a still image there of the concave part.
Yeah.
The thousands of magical...
Dubé, your cherry picking is terrible.
Orbiting aluminum tin cans floating in space. It's all animation and games until one comes crashing down on your squad.
Oh. And here they show a weather balloon that came down.
Many crashed satellites have been reported the world over. And
they're not satellites, they're balloons.
The thing they all have in common is giant helium balloons attached to them. Of course, satellite technology is real. We get our weather information, communication equipment, and even some internet service from them.
Yeah, how? You've redefined everything, but just with a vague description.
Oh, and everything in the sky is the same. One time I saw a helicopter and was like, okay, airplanes don't exist. Because that's an airplane, apparently.
Absolutely. And
exactly.
And if bicycles exist, then motorcycles can't. By this logic, apparently. Microraptor says he's supposed to pick yummy cherries, not rotten ones. Yeah. He's never been good at his cherry pickings. Yeah. So here he goes to launching balloons
in the world for obvious reasons. But the issue with society is that they never critically think. Just think for a second here. If these are sent up to provide the world with all of the important information we need,
they're not.
And I'm sure the entire process is expensive and difficult to accomplish. Then please explain to me what in the flat world do these pathetic animations...
So the fact that animations exist somehow means what?
Well, because when they show a satellite in orbit, they have to get something that close to take a picture rather than just, make an animation to show us what's going on.
That's always been one of my arguments about it. It's like, so what you want for NASA and other space agencies, many of which send satellites up, what you want them to do is also send up a multi-million-dollar camera to go up with the satellite, come away from it enough to take a photograph. Yeah. Why would they do that? We don't need that proof.
Why
it's
not?
Like, why? Why would we?
Mallory says, why not? All right, so Mallory, put yourself in the position of the person in the planning meeting who wants to add to the plan a camera to the satellite to take a picture to give a live feed of the satellite. What would you give in your presentation to them? How would you present that?
I don't see why it's not a bad idea to have a camera in it. It's not. I'm sure they could afford it.
Okay, well, here's a better way.
Hold on. Don't just wait, Punchy. put together a little better presentation to convince the planning committee that they need to increase the budget or reduce budget on other things so that they can have this external camera.
I can't just like willy-nilly do up a presentation real quick to talk to like NASA agents.
You don't need to have
for surreal.
You don't need to have PowerPoint. It's okay.
How about let me just give you this, right, Mallory, right? Just give you an example, okay? So if you were to put up a device into space to go, close enough to a satellite to take a photograph of it to prove that the satellite is up there, right? So first of all, it would need to have a camera. It would need to have a power source. It would need to have a propulsion source. It would need to have, extra infrastructure within the craft itself to send it up there. The current cost per kg to send something into orbit on a Falcon 9 is just short of $3,000. So if you have something that, is a couple of hundred kgs, which realistically it would need to be, you're looking at, $500,000 extra to send something completely unnecessary into space.
I'm sure their crazy fan base would like donate, and I'm sure they could scrounge up just to put a camera on there. Like feels like you're just making an excuse for them not to have a camera on there.
Why?
But I was gonna say, so let's say you have a budget of, I'm just putting out numbers here. This is not the cost of anything here. It's just to kind of demonstrate it. Let's say you're given a budget of $500 million, right? And then let's say you have a satellite that costs $350 million, but now you want to send a second one up there so they can take selfies of each other, and then you say, okay, well it's $100 million over budget, and then they say, okay, well, why should we give you that $100 million if the best you can do is just say, because we want to tell a couple people on the internet that they're wrong, they're not going to give you the money. And guess what? None of us are going to either, because we don't care. It would be you guys giving them money.
Many people would buy those photos. They would probably make their money back in no problem.
These photos are available for free.
They just put them on the internet. But how about this? What if I told you that there is lots of examples of satellites being photographed from other satellites, and I can prove it?
So what was all this discussion about?
Well, yeah, of course, that's the point. That's the point
I'm trying to make.
Even that Dubé is missing, that he didn't bother doing his own research to find out if any of them existed. He just assumed they didn't, did some sloppy searches, and declared that they don't exist.
A lot of
like a good example. A good example is when the STS crews went up to do maintenance on the Hubble Space Telescope. That is literally a photograph of a satellite from another satellite. Or when anything docks with the International Space Station and its live feed back to Earth, that is literally video feed of one satellite being taken from another satellite. What would you say about that?
Pardon? Sorry.
Mother of God. Okay, so I'll do it once more. So when the STS space shuttle missions went to the Hubble Space Telescope they basically put a set of spectacles on the space telescope at one stage because it was really blurry. The mirrors were the wrong shape or whatever. So when they went up there, you could literally watch a video of the Hubble telescope from the space shuttle. So they are both satellites. They are both two man-made objects orbiting the Earth. So you have videos and photographs of a satellite right next to another satellite being taken from a satellite. Or when something docks with the International Space Station, like a Dragon capsule or a resupply capsule or a Soyuz capsule, that is literally a video of one satellite being taken from another satellite. So we have these images. So would you accept that he's wrong in what he's saying there about not having these images?
So you're telling me that they have pictures of a satellite taking pictures of another satellite?
Yeah.
Sure.
You could have just said that.
I did just say that. I gave you an example.
It took 10 minutes.
That's because you didn't listen the first time, goddammit.
Yeah, he did say it twice.
Jesus
That was like so many words just to say
if you said to me, hi, my name is Mallory, I said, oh, sorry, what did you say? And you said, hi, my name is Mallory. And I said,
I would short form it. Short form it. Learn how to speak.
Demon, in through your nose, out through your mouth. Mallory, you too.
Musa. I don't even know why I'm wasting my time. You're clearly a Poe. I mean, geez, right.
All right.
I digress.
I do happen to agree with David on this.
100%.
All right. Okay. Let's get back to we're getting close to the end here. I'm gonna skip a little.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Let's. All right. This guy.
All the water.
This is Tanner. Tanner Stewart.
World. So let's just say this is trillions upon trillions upon. We climb up the banks.
I'm gonna
mind control program. Don't
I'm
look
gonna
out
jump
there.
ahead.
Okay, you can't show where sea level turns to sea curve.
So he has misdefined the word level because he's just ignorant of it, right? Level means curved. He doesn't like it, but that's the definition. So it's not when does sea level turn into sea curve. Sea level is a curve. It's in the definition. It's embedded in the word.
What you're forgetting is flat Earth thrives on the tricky language to try to get people to believe in something that doesn't actually exist based off of a little bit of a definition game. Yeah. And it's simply ridiculous.
It is. Okay. So this is, I think, the culmination of this video coming up here. The reason why it was done is this part that Tanner Stewart is doing here, which is, by the way, isn't his real name. You can find it out by watching his videos. All right.
Curvature on the x-axis or y-axis.
That stuff is flat. Not actually a sphere.
Right.
You gotta love those little cherry pick quotes.
Oh yeah.
Completely out of context.
Yeah.
With no understanding of what he actually meant.
Yeah. No, he doesn't.
At completing the challenge.
Yeah, all right. People did complete the challenge, but because he is, he has a $200,000 challenge, but because he is the sole judge, he just rejects what he doesn't like.
Eric Debate.
Exactly.
Of course.
I love how he's sitting in front of a GTR to basically tell people, see, not all flat earthers are, homeless bums.
He is one of the exceptions.
Though, you got one wealthy idiot.
Well, it is from family, and I've heard, again, I've not confirmed this.
I heard,
but that it is basically kind of scamming people out of money. Like
surprise.
Anyway, all right.
Why don't you just debate Eric Dubay?
Why don't you get off your fat, lazy butt?
All right, so where did it go? If you watched my short that I did today, I'm trying to find this one. I took this part and I had Tanner challenge Eric Dubay to debate me, but you'll hear the original.
Here for Neil deGrasse Tyson. Why don't you get off your fat, lazy butt and out from behind your screens and your scripts?
Earth throughout its life.
And then he cuts over to a bunch of all these other clowns talking about it. And
then why don't you just debate Eric Dubay?
Why don't you get off your fat, lazy butt out from behind your screens and your scripts?
And debate Eric Dubay. You've heard the name Eric Dubay.
This is the point for the video, I think.
But you're scared. You're chicken shit. You won't debate Eric Dubay because you don't have a script and lines and people telling you what to say. You know you'll get demolished. Why don't you just come on a podcast or any type of show, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, maybe an hour, if you've got the balls, and debate Eric Dubay.
The Earth isn't flat.
See how much of a man you are there, Mr. Mic Drop.
There it is.
I'll debate
Eric Dubay is using other people to challenge Neil to debate Eric Dubay, when more than 6 months ago, I challenged Eric Dubay to debate. Silence. So, get off your fat, lazy butt there, Eric Dubay. Debate me.
Looks like we're going to have Eric Dubay. He said he's agreed to do
Let's
it.
see here. It's the one time he gets on camera here.
Prove me wrong.
Okay. Easy.
So Eric proved me wrong. Come on, Eric, get off your fat lazy butt. If you got the balls, debate me.
Yeah, if you got the flats.
If you got the flats. Well, we know Eric doesn't. So I've put this on. I put it on TikTok. I put it on Twitter. I put it on Facebook. I put it on YouTube, and I tagged him where I can. Silence still, Eric Dubay. Why is that?
I hope it does. It should be. It would have been good.
Yeah.
I'm in terms of YouTube, I'm a nobody. I'm willing to debate Eric Dubay.
Yeah. And so Eric is like, well, I'm me. Eric is a nobody though. That's the thing, right? So Eric is a nobody compared to Neil deGrasse Tyson. I am but Foehammer is nobody compared to Neil deGrasse Tyson. So
compared to you as well, too.
Sorry, did I just have a stroke? Or did SC Montreal say the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life?
Ooh. Evidence water. Evidence water. That's all you need. 70% water is flat. Therefore, your Earth is 70% water. Yeah. And English isn't his native language, but Montreal, where are the measurements of the water being flat? That's the thing you missed in your claim there. So, and if you were to debate me, SC Montreal, and you were to say that, I would immediately say, provide the measurements. Maybe that's why you
flat earthers don't need measurements. What
no, they just need vague ideas, and that's
they just need. Trust me, bro.
Speaking, yeah. Angel Gamer. Speaking of balls, taste test time. No, this is not the stream where I'm going to be eating Rocky Mountain oyster jerky. Oh
no, that's for when Demon and I debate on chips versus crisps.
There you go.
Hey,
I will.
You know what I just realized?
Oh yeah. Speaking of that, Demon, hold on, Punchy. It is Foehammer and it's Foehammer and Irish Demon that are going to be debating on crisps versus chips. Can we the first Tuesday in May? Maybe that might be. I'll talk to you both.
There is no debate.
No, I agree. There is no debate. You're wrong.
Yeah, it is crisps.
It is chips.
I can't believe I don't have any ketchup chips near now. Do you still have yours?
The Earth being 70% water is a globe measurement. In fact, that is a thing. SEM Montreal, where is the map that shows the Earth being 70% water? Because all flat Earth maps have a lot more water. Just saying. So, okay. That is, so this is like the last scene, and then they cut to like 10 minutes of credits.
Let's not forget here what DeBay did. He dropped the mic.
Yes.
So he proved gravity works.
No, he proved that the Earth is just accelerating upwards or some other thing.
Well, yeah, he's
Magnets,
not.
Oh yeah,
lasers.
that's right.
He's not an Earth accelerating upwards guy, though.
Is he a laser magnet guy?
He's a density and buoyancy, I think.
There's something wrong with that microphone, man.
So Mallory, what is the thing that makes stuff fall? What makes it accelerate downward?
Magic.
God.
What's that?
Logic? I don't know.
What?
Oh dear. No, a force, right? So F equals ma is the third law of motion. Force equals mass times acceleration. So if there is a mass that is accelerated, it is caused by a force. So when you drop the mic, there is
It falls to the ground.
The mic is a mass, and it is accelerated to the ground. Therefore, it's a force that's doing it. So what is the force that's causing the mic to drop?
I know you want me to answer gravity.
No, we want you to answer with what. Go ahead, MC.
I want a force to be part of the answer.
What do you mean, like the force?
Yeah.
You want force with the word gravity mixed together?
See, that's the challenge to flat Earth is they've never actually like done the science to provide the reason for that, the force behind it, right? People, you've probably heard relative density, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, density isn't a force. Relative density isn't a force. So neither of those actually can work. You need something that is a force.
Yeah, I really don't know, because one minute in some flat earth groups saying that gravity is real, and then there's others that's saying that it's not real. And
Wait,
So don't get your answers from them.
Wait, is there a flat earth group that says gravity is real? Right?
yeah, there's
Bob
some flat
Nodella
earthers
is-
that say that gravity is real.
Samuel
Then
Robotham said it.
Really? Doesn't that kind of defeat the whole idea of flat earth then?
Well,
No, there's in the flat earth movement, we're pretty much divided in a lot of things.
there's many camps.
No shit.
And Robotham he said that because he didn't realize that if the Earth were flat and mass attracted mass, then that would collapse it into a sphere.
Well, in all fairness, it could work if the Earth was tiny, but really tiny.
Here's something else. Have you ever wondered why flat earthers are so divided on every topic, but none of us are?
That's because you guys been doing it for quite some time, and NASA's been around for quite some time, and we've been
I'm
taught
also
in
completely
school.
new.
Well, we've been taught in schools to believe in the globe.
I never learned about it. I never learned about gravity or
Yeah.
anything. I didn't do
Never learned
science in
about it.
school.
In all
I did
fairness,
woodwork.
Yeah, I've learned a lot more in the last 4 years.
But
from,
so
just
you
people
never
who-
taught it in school, never seen a movie, never nothing. You were just like, yeah, we live on a globe. Like, how the
I
fuck
was
would you
never-
even think about that?
I never thought about it. I never cared.
I never really did care either. I had a choice between science and woodwork, and I chose woodwork. So I never did physics. I never did chemistry. I never did any of that stuff.
Because even when without school or no movies, the first thing you would say is the world would be flat.
Not
Yeah,
necessarily.
So,
How would
so
not?
here-
Evil exists.
You can't
let me
see
let me
curve
back
with your
up.
bare eye.
Let me back up to one thing here. You said we've been around, and I take it you mean the people that accept that the Earth is a sphere, that we've been around a long time.
No, I mean NASA and them.
Okay, so NASA's been around 70 years.
Yep.
Right. But the most of these things about gravity and all that predates NASA. But actually, flat earthers have been around even longer.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you've heard it that people say, well, all ancient cultures thought the Earth was flat.
Yeah.
I don't.
Which is
right.
untrue.
Which is not true, but let's take it for a second that at least many of them were. And therefore, flat earthers have been around longer than globe earthers. So flat earthers have had more time to perfect their understanding than the rest
How
of us.
could we when NASA's the one that has all the gazillion dollars?
But NASA's
They
only
don't.
70 years. It's been more than 2,000 years.
If you gave an ancient civilization every single dollar that's ever existed on the planet, they can't just magically buy an M1 Abrams tank. That's not how this works. It takes years and years and years of research to get somewhere. And so we saw NASA start off taking German scientists and technology after World War II. That's where they started. And we saw the space program advance. The Russians beat us to space. That's what kickstarted us to go to the moon. It doesn't matter how much you pay NASA. Without that motivation and without that drive and without the technologies that were researched previously, thanks to the Germans in World War II, we wouldn't have gotten to where we are now.
Hmm.
There you go. All right. Well, let's move on from that. We can beat that horse all day long. I got a couple super chats here from Davey Clarets for $4.99. Says, congrats, Donnie, you got your law. The council just affirmed the law of gravitational attraction. That's funny if they did. And Peck is a new member. Thank you very much, Peck. It's a funny that Dolly there thing. Anyway, Angel Gamer said wants the taste test time on the Rocky Mountain oysters. 2 weeks, just under 2 weeks. Tim Pryor says the Earth being 70% water is a globe measurement. Covered that already. And then Mr. Tube, first name Fa, middle name Q, middle initial, says Eric is nobody compared to my cat, who could easily beat him in debate, by the way. Absolutely. And then Davey Claretts again says it's totally density. That's why Flurf YouTubers are bottom feeders. Ooh, snap. Taking out the big guns there. So that's what we were going to do today. Review the movie. And the movie, it's an hour long. That's all it is. So find it on IMDb if you're interested, now that you've had a taste of it. Go watch the rest of it if you want to. I don't know. I can't recommend it. My recommendation is don't watch it. It's the same. Nothing new at all. Oh, if Flat Earthers were like, oh, this is going to be it. I can't wait for it to come out. They must just be angry because it's the same.
It's just like Dubé's 200 proofs. It's the same 10 things over and over and over and over and over again. And the same 10 things are actually the same 5 things.
I don't know. At least they're really cute.
Who's cute?
The people
I
in
know
that
I am.
movie.
The people in what movie?
Level.
Who? Wait, which ones are cute?
So
Oh, I don't know. I didn't catch their names.
well, that changes everything. Why
The female pilot, I do agree. She was very attractive.
Well said. Well said. There was that one. There was like the one lady that wasn't named that was on the side 2 different times. Maybe she was. I don't know. Alien Spore for $2 says, "Hey MC and Irish," and Irish isn't even here. Where did he go? I don't know. Maybe he's
He had to go find something to eat.
Yeah.
Probably his internet connection.
Mike M is saying, has Mallory seen The White Swan yet? Mallory, have you seen The White Swan?
Is that a movie?
No. Okay. Just briefly, since you haven't, it seems, it is an image that was taken by a professional photographer, and then a flat earther named Bev was like, oh, that's weird. I'm going to go take that same picture, and went and took the same picture. And then flat earther Ranty saw it and is like, oh, that picture shows curvature. I'm no longer a flat earther. So Ranty, yes. So anyway, I sent this to Ranty afterwards. He was on FTFE's channel on Wednesday. I talked to him briefly, congratulated, thanked him like for having integrity, and then I sent him this. Look at that, Ranty. Well done, perfect score, just for Ranty. So I did never debate Ranty. I challenged him, and I'm like, you know what? I think he's questioning. I'll let him be. So
Ranty was always a good guy.
I always liked him.
Rude.
I did. I have not super chatted very many flat earthers. Him more than once. So yes, everybody say hashtag thanks Bev in the chat there. Why Kick a Mook House is, remember, it's called the sea because you can see really far. Oh,
but where does sea salt come from?
That's from Nathan Thompson, who's just so. And then Steve 6464 says, thanks MC Toon for watching it for us. You're welcome. It's I do it so you don't have to. Man, that means that's 2 books and 1 movie in the last month. Oof. I got this book behind me here, Falling Flat, which is not a flat earth book. It's an anti-flat earth book by Danny Faulkner that I will maybe have on at some point. And I will read that book as well.
Sorry to interrupt. The reason I had to run off there, I heard a bang outside, and I just went out and somebody tried to break in my back door. They just
again.
God.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it happens all the time in this area. Somebody literally, I'll send you the picture, Toon. So I heard a big bang and I was like, what is that? And the dog started barking. And when I ran out, there was a guy jumping over the fence. And then I just looked in the back door, was kicked in.
And that's why it was a
Oh my
6-hour
God.
P320 right next to me.
Yep. They broke my fucking door.
How does your house get broken into so often?
I live in the middle of Muskegon.
Oh my goodness.
It's because where our back fence is backs onto like a big wasteland where a lot of people hang out from time to time. And so they jump the fence. I don't know how they do it because it's like a 16 or 17 foot fence. So, but they jump down onto the roof and then into the backyard.
It's probably because your Chihuahua doesn't scare them.
No, you gotta get some barbed wire or some razor wire.
Upgrade.
I was just gonna put some broken glass up on top of the wall. I sent you the picture of the door I sent you the picture of the door just now.
Okay. I'll show it if you want people to see it.
Yeah, because like it's crazy. Like when you're at home, I think it's because my car's not here. My car's down the street at the shop, so they probably saw the car wasn't here. And
that's crazy. That's
so your car's broken into by now then too, huh?
Well, his car was
my car's been broken into loads of times. That's why it's at the shop to get the window motor replaced because somebody pulled it down. Fucking hell, man! I cannot wait to move back to Ireland, man. This the problem with this city is just full of fucking.
There you go.
Just yeah, you know.
That's a broken door.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just heard one bang and it was like somebody booted the door.
I'd be so scared.
All right, Foehammer, you got to go hang out there for a week or two. Yell.
Don't worry, I've got my Viking axe with me.
Viking axe. That's adorable.
You need some Americans because they have all the guns. You'll be fine.
For those wondering, Demon knows who Chonky is. It's my AR-10. It's a 12-pound competition 308 rifle that I built.
Tell you what, it isn't though. It isn't a 1930s Japanese battle axe. That's what it ain't. I chased the guy. I chased the guy with that last week.
Last week, wow.
No shit. So we were actually in the living room. We were
you
in
gotta
the
move.
living room.
You gotta move to Ireland, man.
Seriously.
We were in the living room and you can still kind of see into the backyard from the living room. And my partner Jen, she was like, "There's somebody in the backyard again." So I was like, "Fuck me!" So I looked out the window and I was like, "I'll just kind of keep an eye, make sure they're not armed," because a lot of them carry like machetes and stuff.
Oh my God.
And then I was like, "Fuck this!" I was like, "I'm not just going to sit here and leave somebody walk around rooting around in my back." So I ran out bare chested with an axe, and he ran. He was gone.
He was probably scared you were going to eat him.
Yeah, I don't blame him. He's lucky I didn't catch him. I tell you that much.
Bare chested with an axe. Oh.
Yeah, I just got out of the bath. I was in like the shower or whatever.
Oh, I thought you were kidding.
His manhood.
Oh no! I literally was sitting there. I just got out of the shower or something, and I had my axe on the table because I was sharpening it. It's a big ass axe. I was sharpening my axe, and we were watching a movie or something. And she was like, somebody's in the backyard. I was like, what? So I just ran out there full fucking Ragnar Lothbrok mode with my axe, bare chested. Bring it on, fucker.
And
Mallory,
gone, man. You would like Demon. All he needs is a mask. He has so much hair on his chest that he's already like 90% a furry.
Yeah.
What?
He's 90% furry.
What's that?
Mallory kind of has a thing for furries, and you almost are naturally, it seems. So.
Hold on. Are they those like adult teddy bears?
No.
Yep. People that get inside the adult teddy bears.
There we go.
Inside it.
Yeah, it's a costume.
In what respect?
They dress up.
In all the aspects.
I'm so confused.
They dress up as a cat or a dog or a unicorn or a bear, and then hang out with each other, go to conventions, do dances, dance competitions.
Oh, like breakdancing or what?
Yeah, I have a video I made just for the time that Mallory was on my channel of not only are a bunch of furries dancing, but I'm in it wearing a sort of furry suit, which is just a pajamas, full-size adult pajamas.
I would die a happy man if I could see a panda breakdancing.
There you go. All right. Thomas Matthews says that broken door is CGI after it was a real camera, not something computer generated.
That makes sense.
True. Yeah. And Merrick Zions for 10 PlayStation Network dollars says good morning. Well, good morning back, Merrick. And Bella Charge for 5 New Zealand says, you never know, the guy might have been trying to get away from the big Aussie spiders. No break-in attempt. Could be. What do you think?
Could be.
But when
anyway, I gotta go fix this door. So I'll talk to you guys later.
All right. Thanks for coming.
Have a good
Irish
one.
Demon. Yes.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
See you, Demon.
Well, that's we're gonna wrap it up here because we went over the movie. Would not recommend. And but it was great having all of you on. Thank you very much to Punchy. What do you got to say?
Let's see. Shameless plug. Check out Mortal Kombat tomorrow. I had nothing to do with it, but I'm so excited.
Excellent plug that helps nothing for you. So a not shameless, a selfless plug. And Foehammer, first time you've been on here, right?
Yes, first time, probably the last time.
Glad to have you. You'll be on debating on chips and crisps with Mr. Irish Demon here a little bit. Anything you got to say?
Check out my debate with JL Warren. This happened on Sunday on the plot hole. I believe both of us did a very good job on covering a very touchy subject. We talked about gun control. I believe there was only about 2 minutes of us over talking, and the rest was absolutely cordial. Also on Saturdays, check out the Four Swordsmen. It's myself, Skydiver Tanner, Little Wolf, and some Australian guy, Dark Steve from Australia. We just talk about random stuff, whatever we see in the community, local, worldwide, whatnot. Other than that, I don't have anything else going on.
Excellent. Thank you. We've got, I missed from Savage Junkie, who for 5 Canadian, ask Mallory, is there a conspiracy to hide flat Earth? If there is, why would they let them put the film on Netflix and publish books?
What do you mean?
Well, this thing that we just watched is apparently it's on Netflix. I don't know about that, but I know it's on Vimeo. I know it's on YouTube. It's on other places. If there's a conspiracy, why would they let them do that? Why wouldn't they just say, nah, you're not going to do that?
And we have historical precedent for this. MK Ultra, for instance, was horribly repressed by the government for ages.
Yeah.
Not the flat Earth.
I don't know. Maybe it's how they did it. Like how you were saying, they didn't bring anything new to the movie. Maybe, who knows? Maybe they weren't allowed to say certain new things. Maybe they had a censorship or a contract that they had to sign. That could be it also.
See, and here's the thing. Even if part of that was true, which it isn't in this case, but let's just say it was, it still goes against all the measurements that anyone can go make for themselves. And that's the biggest issue. Because that's why I can't speak for everyone else, but that's kind of why it's one of my favorite conspiracy theories, because it's the one that I and anyone else can literally say it's stupid and it's wrong for ourselves. Like, I can't guarantee you that the moon landing happened. I can't guarantee you other things because I wasn't there. I can go up, certain evidence, but a lot of it still is kind of hearsay. Now this, I can literally go out and test for myself. Anyone can. Maybe you can't do it to the same precision that, a space agency can do with all the money and tools and equipment they have, but the one you can do is go and do it, and if you do it properly, you will realize that it's not flat.
And I mean, even in my industry, I shoot. I'm a long distance competitive shooter. I helped MC Toon write his page on Coriolis.
Yeah.
I use that quite frequently. I don't always use it.
Did you say Crayolas? Like crayons?
No. Coriolis as in the Earth spin. The spin from the Earth affects the trajectory of my rounds as I fire past 1,000 meters.
It affects it all the time, but the effect of it
pronounced.
is large enough to cause an error past
Exactly.
a certain distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying. I'm trying to explain it in as simple terms as possible.
It's tough because if you use absolutes, then people jump on it. So it's tough. Yeah. So anyway, so I don't know if I was in charge of hiding something that was a multi-century thing, I would not have let them have free reign on YouTube for 2 years. Obviously, the only way to stop somebody from talking is to really, really stop them from talking,
permanently.
That's the only way to stop somebody. So since nobody has come forward and said, hey, I was part of this cover up, then they must be ruling these people with an iron fist and have no qualms about permanently making them stop talking. So those people with that kind of authority and power, and no problems doing those types of things, would never for 2 years because from 2015 to 2017, it went crazy on YouTube. They would not let that happen. They would have made them go permanent sleepy time.
Yeah.
That's the only way to make them stop talking. So that's what I think if I were in charge. But they must be really, really bad at it, I guess. Anyway, that's that. Mallory, anything you want to say?
No.
No.
Thank you for having me here.
Thanks for coming. It's always a pleasure to have you. Everybody, thanks a lot. Thank you to channel members and patrons. I really appreciate it. And I am going to try to get a more concise, shorter review of it, just a scripted review on my channel. I got notes and all that. So anyway, be looking out for that. And next week, got two things on Tuesday night. So should be good. And we'll see y'all later. Bye.
All right.
Wait a second. Wait, almost missed this. Huge Arse said, hey, will Mallory come on my live stream? What do you say, Mallory?
Yeah.
Yes.
Find me on Discord or Facebook or email.
There you go. Huge Arse is on Discord. So there it is. All right. Enjoy your regularly scheduled outro.